Welcome to the audiobook recording of The Other Way, Happiness Through Critical Thinking by Ozan Dagdeviren, narrated by the author himself. Foreword. This book is intended to be a tool for professional and personal development and raising awareness, but it should not be considered a self-help book in the traditional sense of the word. The fundamental difference being that it does not claim to put forward easily applicable advice for changing behaviors or habits. It does not take the view that happiness is within everyone and can be easily uncovered by a positive attitude towards life. It's fair to say it takes a somewhat more grim and realistic perspective that is deeply concerned with what goes on around us in the world, before showing a way out to still being content and happy. Before all, this book aims to unearth some of the founding ideas and beliefs each of us hold towards life and critique them relentlessly. The way forward lies in facilitating the questioning of deeply embedded cultural beliefs, ideas, and dogmas. The work you are about to read brings into conversation the most impactful and influential scientific research available on happiness. At the same time, it interprets the very seemingly mundane and basic activities which make up our day-to-day reality in the backdrop of this theory and knowledge. What is in our collective conscience and culture will be our canvas in the analysis that follows. The questions we are going to address are ancient and some very complicated. As such, the answers are complicated too, and I'm going to try to offer a unique perspective to these ancient questions, and moreover, will attempt to equip you with the mental and intellectual tools which you can use to craft your own unique answers. In this sense, the primary aim can be defined as to identify the problems and create the ideal conditions for asking those questions related to happiness. Without asking the hard questions and going through a level of self-critique, it is not possible to come up with the answers that are going to affect a real and lasting change. Those who live life without questioning can't have the thoughts or values that are divergent from the mass of people they are with. People who live in perfect accord with the value judgments, ideas, beliefs of their immediate culture and environment are bound in their limits to experience the freedoms of thought, feel, and perception. Those who don't choose a life of critical thinking are happy or unhappy as much as the groups they belong to. For people seeking more meaning and happiness than was the average of their surrounding social group, rejection of common truths is the first step in the right direction. A life of critical thinking requires leaving the herd. It is a life of questioning, and in many cases, rejecting the ready truths of the society. It entails building a new vision of the world with those pieces that pass through the filter of your unique critical perspective. Not an easy journey. It is a sometimes painful process of transformation that can only be experienced individually. Neither this book nor another can bear this burden for you. No book or person can live to ask and answer the questions that you need to ask yourself. What this book can do, however, is attempt to be a guide, accelerating the process, giving tips, warning about the dangers that lie ahead. It attempts to be a humble guide map in a world where there are no absolute truths. As it will become clearer in the following pages, happiness is not a state of nirvana that can be reached by setting it as a target and running for it aggressively. It is not something that can be achieved with easy-to-learn habits or simple changes in behavior. What we have the power to effect is to create the right conditions externally and internally and embody the right perspectives that will enable a happier life. What we are after is there for the taking for those who can see the viciousness and beauty of the world in the same frame. It is there for the taking for those who are as good pragmatic realists as they are naive and gentle observers of
Sample complete. Ready to continue?